Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for coming by for our slideshow. We're just going to do a brief introduction to the exploratory research paper. I want to remind you that the theme for segment 3 is cultivating complexity. So the end goal we have is to be able to understand a current events topic from multiple perspectives. That can be conservative or liberal. That can be scope and degree of the problem plus the root causes of the problem. So we want to have multiple dimensions of the problem explored with this particular assignment. So we definitely want to keep in mind those parts of the solution-based thinking model, that we think about human interest and impact. We think about scope and degree of the problem. We make sure to have good problem definition. We think about root causes. We think about political and social values, any combination of these, and of course, evaluating policy solutions. So we will talk about this more on Monday, but we want to pick some different angles for looking at this topic, and we'll have multiple angles for understanding the topic by the time we finish the paper. You will want to know, of course, about the length of the paper and the basic requirements. 3,000 words, somewhere in the 8-sentence range. 3,000 words does include the title and the abstract and the works cited. You will be citing several sources, but I'd like for you to consult 10 sources. So 10 sources that we consulted to see how relevant they are to our project. And the purpose of this project is just to deepen our understanding of a topic that we're interested in. I know that most of us have already picked a topic. We're working with something that we already have a degree of familiarity with and starting to develop a little bit of expertise with. So the other segment 3 assignments, the fact sheet, along with the literature review, these parts can be integrated into your exploratory research essay. So all the work that you've done to this point can be taken advantage of as you look for your 10 sources and develop your 8-page or so research paper. By now, we probably know that our papers are structured around a research question. And 5 to 7 primary sources are what we'll use in order to create the substance of our paper. So what we did with the lit review for last week is exactly the kind of work that we'll continue to do. We'll look deeply into our sources. Maybe we'll need to go and add information from the sources that we may have already worked with. So 5 to 7 primary sources for this project. I do think it's good to have a mix of sources. You can use academic and popular sources. If you find peer-reviewed articles on your topic, you can use those. If you find also video documentaries, in some cases, are helpful information. I know for maybe topics like climate change, it's nice to have those data visualizations inside of a video. So keep in mind that you can use video recordings as well as other popular sources, and academic sources from journals and such are always welcome. Your paper structure will include an abstract. That's basically a summary or a preview of your paper. You will be discussing things such as the research question, what findings you've reached in a summary format, and also if you had any concluding thoughts that came out of your research. Those could all be included in your abstract, 100 to 150 words. The next part to include is an introduction, and this is in some ways similar to an abstract. You will use your research question and refer to that, and you'll also give some background about your topic. Maybe the reader needs to know something about the significance of your topic. You might, in this section, talk about the scope and degree of the social issue described in the main part of the paper. Third, you have, of course, your body of the paper, the main part, and you can divide up your body in really two basic ways, one of two basic ways. You could talk about each source consecutively, or you can divide your paper into subtopics. So you could go one by one through your sources and include 300 to 500 words for each source, Or you could divide it up into 3 subtopics and maybe have 500 or 600 words per subtopic. At the end, the body should be somewhere 1,500 to 2,100 words. There are 2 final parts to include in your paper, your conclusion, and I like to think of conclusions as leaving the reader in a different spot from where they started. So as your reader finishes up, what takeaway points should they keep in mind as they go forward? So it's the final discussion of the findings and the implications of your topic. And you can also have some room here for researcher opinion. So you will have spent a fair amount of time on a single topic. What thoughts do you have? What did you learn? Is there something that motivates you to continue to do work on this topic? Is there something that you want to say that perhaps you understand better the significance of this topic? So any speaking along this line would be part of what you can do with your concluding section of the paper. And then we have the works cited coming last. That is your 10 sources consulted. And there's a word length there of 100 words, which is typical for a works cited. I hope this is helpful to get us started on our research paper. We will be looking at an example first thing Monday, and we will also add some more detail perhaps to what kind of approach can you take to the body of your paper as well as to your introductory sections. Have a good weekend, and I will see you in person on Monday. Thanks, everyone.